Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. And hey, guys, I have a special treat for you today. I want to do a little educating today, guys. I want to teach you the difference between the different types of cryptocurrencies that are out in the market, all right? We always hear of Bitcoin, of Ethereum. We hear of platform tokens, utility tokens, security tokens, natural asset tokens. And, there's a lot of confusion in the market about what each of these types of cryptocurrencies actually do. Today, I want to go through each type of cryptocurrency that's out there. I want to go through a couple examples of each so that you have a really good idea of the types of tokens, the types of crypto assets that are available in the marketplace that you can buy, sell, and ultimately trade with other people as an investment to make some money in the long run, okay? So what I really want to do is I'm going to pull up my little cheat sheet here, and I'm going to go through kind of one by one what different types of crypto assets there are, okay? So let's go through this together one by one, okay? So the first one, which is very, very obvious and what most people hear about in the news, in the media, it's Bitcoin, right? What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is an actual cryptocurrency. And we define a cryptocurrency by saying it's an instrument of exchange, a store of value, or something that stores value and has units that can be measured or accounted for on a ledger system, okay? That is what Bitcoin is. That is what a cryptocurrency is ultimately, and that's only one type of cryptocurrency or crypto asset in the market today, right? There are other examples of cryptocurrencies. I think Bitcoin, though, is the most well known. Ultimately, Bitcoin strives to replace or to really replace fiat currencies, right? Or other traditional forms of currencies that have been used in the past, where now we're entering an era of digital currency, and Bitcoin is aimed really to kind of displace existing currency models that are out there today, namely fiat currencies that are printed by Federal Reserve banks and so forth, governments all over the world, okay? So that is the first type of crypto asset we're going to talk about. Number two is platform tokens. And I often like to talk about platform tokens because I think there's a lot of value and a lot of power in platform tokens, okay? The most widely known platform token out there in the market today is Ethereum by far, right? We've seen an enormous explosion of ICOs, of different types of assets being popped up because of the Ethereum platform, right? The ability to enable decentralized applications by eliminating intermediary third parties and doing that on the blockchain is what really constitutes a platform token, okay? So a platform token is a platform that essentially enables the issuance of other forms of digital assets like tokens on the blockchain that's powered by the platform itself. And in this case, the platform itself would be Ethereum, okay? So Ethereum is the most popular. Obviously, it's one of the biggest startups that Canada has actually ever seen. And this is because platform tokens are very, very powerful. Other tokens are built on top of platform tokens, right? So think of platform tokens as more of like the plumbing in the cryptocurrency world, okay? So think of in the internet world, we have TCP IP. There were other protocols in the early days of the internet. TCP IP beat out the other protocols and is essentially the platform or backbone of the modern internet that we see today, okay? Platform tokens are poised to disrupt the modern internet as we see it today based on TCP IP. It's supposed to disrupt that by using another type of technology, which is called blockchain, right? Blockchain is poised to disrupt the internet today, enabling a decentralized internet to be powered without third-party intermediaries, okay? So examples are Ethereum, like I just said. Other examples include Icon, IOTA, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar Lumens. These are all platform tokens, and they're essentially trying to lay the plumbing or lay the foundation to which all other crypto assets and cryptocurrencies, crypto-backed assets really are derived from. They'll all be built on top of these platforms or platform tokens, and Ethereum is a really, really good example of that, okay? So moving down the list, the third type of cryptocurrency that we see is utility tokens, okay? Utility tokens are programmable blockchain assets that have utility in a particular application, okay? So think of AWS without Amazon, right? They're decentralized without intermediaries, but they're essentially programmable digital assets that can function without a specific third party or intermediary, okay? So if you think of Amazon Web Services or AWS, they do a whole host of different things, right? One of these types of things is storage management, right? Or cloud-based services, right? Where I can go and I could actually build an application in the cloud. I could build a website, put pictures on there, host a whole lot of data, and put it in the cloud, right? That is what AWS does. Another example, a Dropbox, right? A Dropbox is essentially a cloud-based storage platform that allows you to store data, files, videos, content in the cloud. That is another example of a utility token. So utility tokens facilitate the intermediary of these assets on blockchain in a programmable way. So you could program these assets to do whatever you want. You can buy and sell these assets however you so fit, right? These are utility tokens. They're tokens, they're programmable assets that reside on the blockchain that have some sort of utility or function that can be captured as value in time on the blockchain, okay? So that is what a utility token is. A really, really well-known example of this is Golem. And what Golem is trying to do, or ticker GNT, what they're trying to do is they're trying to actually utilize smartphones, right? They're trying to utilize the power of smartphones being in the hands of everybody basically in the world, millions and millions upon millions of people. They're trying to harness the power, the computing power, the space, the technology, the CPU power of smartphones to create a supercomputer that can enable other applications and other uses, right? So if you wanted to use the Golem network, you would tap into it by purchasing their utility tokens for a nominal fee and use that token to purchase services or programmable assets on that particular blockchain, okay? So hopefully I didn't confuse you there, but that is what a utility token is, okay? Number 4, and 4 is a pretty interesting one, I have to admit. It is security tokens. So security tokens are a bit different of a beast, right? These tokens constitute an investment contract where the main use case and the reason for contributors to buy the tokens is the anticipation of future profits in the form of dividends, revenue share, or most commonly price appreciation, okay? So a classic example of this would be a BitConnect, right? Assets that are speculative in nature, but at a future time, people are expecting them to materialize into a financial gain of some sort or another, right? In the case of BitConnect, it was a financial loan being facilitated as you lent out your tokens, you get money in return, right? That is an example of a security token, right? They include native digital bonds, native digital equities, and other forms of securities, but they can be traded on a peer-to-peer basis without any type of financial institution or intermediary to facilitate the transaction, okay? So think of Wall Street or like NASDAQ or all the financial services companies, Goldman Sachs, we had Lehman Brothers, which collapsed. All these financial intermediary companies act as security type of companies, right? Security tokens are aimed to replace a lot of those third-party financial intermediaries because they enable peer-to-peer exchange of these security assets, but on blockchain in a decentralized way, okay? So that's what a security token is. Classic examples of this are Polymath, Bancor, AirSwap, just to give you an idea of a few. This is a big hot topic, a very, very debatable topic and subject, something that the SEC is looking very, very hard at because of the implications, all right? If you don't need these financial services, you don't need Goldman Sachs. You don't need these Wall Street-backed financial institutions to do a lot of the financial transacting that's happening today in our modern economy, right? Now, I'm not saying this will completely replace and eliminate the need for some of those institutions. They may have uses in other cases, right? In other instances, but the technology itself from security tokens is so good that you can actually eliminate the need for a lot of these third-party services, which is a little scary and a little daunting because the economy in the US right now is largely based upon these financial services like Goldman Sachs, Lehman Brothers, and other institutions today that actually control and account for a very, very, very large portion of the US economy today, okay? So security tokens are something to watch, and it's something to pay attention to in terms of how the SEC is going to handle and regulate these types of tokens, as well as other countries around the world, because these can have some very significant financial implications, not only to kind of like on the macro scale from a societal standpoint, but on the individual level and how you actually trade, buy, sell, and securitize these types of investments that you can take advantage of, okay? So that's a big one to watch, and that's what a security token is. Next, Let's go to number 5. Number 5 is a natural. Ooh, I got to make that little white here. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I want to make sure that we're first talking through all these coins, okay? So number 5, a natural asset token, okay? So natural asset tokens represent tangible assets and goods like gold, oil, coal traded and exchanged on a peer-to-peer markets with real-time settlement, okay? And an example of this would be Royal Mint Gold. So these are any type of tokens that are backed with a natural asset or a hard asset, more of a commodity, if you will, like oil, gold, silver, wheat, any type of commodity that's any crypto asset that's backed by some sort of commodity or hard asset would fall into the natural asset token category. I don't know a whole lot about these types of assets, so I do want to give caution to that. But I want you to be aware that it is an asset class in and of itself, and it's a type of security that you can invest in going forward. There's a lot of these. An example is Royal Mint Gold. And I think these are actually very, very interesting types of assets or digital assets because traditionally commodities can be predicted, on a futures basis by looking at environmental factors as an example, right? So if I was trading a commodity and I wanted to buy wheat or corn or any type of crop, I can look at the futures market and I can say, okay, the futures market is likely going to perform in this way because of the environmental conditions that I'm forecasting, all right? If you don't have enough rain for a season, your commodities and wheat are going to be low, right? Because wheat production is going to stagnate. It's going to stall. Not a lot of wheat's going to be produced, which is going to drive down the supply of wheat and increase the price of wheat because the demand is going to maintain kind of steady, generally speaking. But if the production of the yield of that wheat crop is lower than usual, the price will likely go up. The same thing goes for cattle. The same thing goes for oil. Any type of commodity or asset-backed good, commodity good will typically operate like this, okay? So this new asset class, natural asset tokens, if you're looking at these, you can play the market in a much different way than you can play the market with Bitcoin because there's actual like environmental impacts that will affect the token prices of these types of assets in the future, okay? So just to give you an example, Royal Mint Gold. Let's just go to Royal Mint Gold really quickly. Just to show you an example of this. And there are a number of these, but so you can see royalmint.com and you can open up an account and actually physically buy gold in a digital way, right? It's a new cost-effective way and convenient way to trade physical gold, right? So it's kind of like the new gold markets on steroid, the new commodities markets on steroids, utilizing blockchain technology to make the markets a lot more efficient. So check this out. Check out Royal Mint. I'm not endorsing Royal Mint. I'm just giving you an example of the type of token a natural asset token would be, okay? And okay, so let's go to the next one here. Because I don't want to lose sight of the last two. These are also important, okay? So number 6, crypto collectibles. So what is a crypto collectible? So a crypto collectible it's really kind of an asset in an entirely space of its own. It's an entirely unique type of digital asset that enables users to purchase, raise, and or breed and create unique digital properties, okay? So one of the classic examples of crypto collectibles would be CryptoKitties, okay? So CryptoKitties is built on the Ethereum blockchain, but essentially what CryptoKitties is, it's the ability to own digital real estate, digital assets, and essentially unique digital properties, right? So the idea is that a unique digital asset will be created and it will be limited in the number of supply and number of times it can be replicated, the number of times it will be created, and it actually then gets a specific value based on the demand of the number of people that want that particular digital asset, right? CryptoKitties was more of kind of a fun game, fun economy where people just wanted to collect these assets because they were speculating that the price of these assets would go up over time, right? And so what that did is it actually created a value of that particular digital asset, and that value goes up and down, right, over and over. We saw something similar in the early days of the internet, right? You could think of like domain names. Domain names are also kind of digital properties, right, that go up and down in value. But a new class of digital assets are going to emerge, on blockchain and become kind of a new class of their own, because literally you can create any type of digital asset you want. You could put it on a blockchain, you could limit the supply of it, and then depending on the number of people that want it, the demand and the supply of that asset, the price will fluctuate as with any other type of commodity. So it's like a digital commodity, digital real estate, digital goods, okay? And this is a very unique category also to pay attention to, because in the future, largely intellectual property is going to kind of fall in this realm. Not in all cases, but if you create any type of digital property, digital or intellectual property like books, like graphics or video or artwork or anything like this, it'll fall under the crypto collectibles category, all right? Which has seen a very, very large market adoption with CryptoKitties and other examples as well, okay? The last type of cryptocurrency asset that I want to talk about is crypto fiat currencies, okay? So these are currencies that are issued by governments and by central banks, typically, not always, but they're also backed by some sort of hard asset that has economic value, okay? So examples of this would be the US dollar tether, stablecoin, USD coin, the Petro coin in Venezuela, and other ones are popping up left and right month over month, okay? So these are typically backed by some sort of government issued collateral, right? And in many cases, it's the fiat currency that's issued by the government or central bank itself, okay? So US Tether, we have stablecoin, and these are popping up all over the place. And there's controversy around these because are they effectively printing money from nothing, right? Which is essentially what fiat currency is. But if you could attach fiat currency to cryptocurrency or to blockchain and trade between them, you could essentially create these kind of these non-tangible coins that can be traded for real money. But it's all kind of illusion anyway, right? So what is real money? What is fiat currency? What is cryptocurrency? There's this kind of gray area right now in economics and monetary policy today where it's a bit gray, because fiat currencies, they say they're backed by the good of the U.S. government, the good of whatever, but essentially they're nothing. They're numbers in a computer that are created out of thin air, right? The same thing goes for these kind of these stable coins, these USD tether coins. They're not really backed by anything tangible themselves, only the good faith in the asset that they're claiming to be backed by, okay? So this is an asset class that I would take a look at and take a very hard look at and watch as time goes on, because it definitely can affect the price of other coins in the markets, okay? So now you guys see that there are many more types of cryptocurrencies than just Bitcoin or just cryptocurrency, right? There are cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. There are platform tokens like Ethereum. There are utility tokens like Golem, security tokens, natural asset tokens, crypto collectibles, crypto fiat currencies. And I imagine this list is going to expand over time, but these are the main categories, the main players. Study up on what these actual tokens do, what these types of assets do, because their prices will be tethered, no pun intended, will be tethered to the value that they can bring. And if you feel that an asset class is going to bring more value than another, I would be looking at that asset class to invest in for long-term return on investment, right? A long-term ROI, okay? I, in particular, am looking at platform tokens because right now there's a race. There's kind of a race in the market to becoming a standard. There's some of these platforms, they want to become the standard of crypto. They want to become the standard of blockchain so that every other type of digital asset is built essentially off of the platform, and they become the plumbing of the new era of the internet moving forward, okay? This is a very, very important concept to understand, guys, which is why I'm following Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, IOTA, and some of these others very closely, because effectively what's going to happen, in my belief, and this may be wrong, but in my belief, one of these platforms is going to emerge as the leader in the blockchain and crypto space. And when this happens, the majority of investment, the majority of funds, the majority of resources are going to be dedicated to that platform and to building out and expanding that platform over time to get more widespread adoption, to make it feasible, and to realize the vision of Bitcoin in the first place, all right? So one of these platforms is going to emerge as the leader, as the standard, as the default, as TCP/IP did in the internet, in the early days of internet. it basically came down to what protocol was going to be used, and TCP/IP it won. It won out on amongst every other platform out there. And you can see the dividends that it's giving over time. But now the difference being is that you can directly invest in these platform tokens themselves by investing in IOTA, by investing in Bitcoin Cash, by investing in Ethereum directly. And the value of that particular coin is going to be tied to the broader platform play that they're taking and all other assets, tokens that are built off of that platform. So the more tokens, the more assets that are built on that platform, the more they're utilized, the more transactions that occur within those individual tokens that are built on the platform, the plumbing, the foundational layer, they're going to be much, much stronger in the end. And that platform value is going to skyrocket beyond belief. And if you invest in it, you're going to make a shitload of money. So that is why I'm keen and very interested in platform tokens. I will dig into this more at a later date, but I wanted to give you an overview of the different types of cryptocurrencies because I think it's really important that you guys understand that. I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. I hope this has been very useful for you. It's been very fun for me to talk about this, but I'm excited to dig in a little deeper. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I would love to answer any of the questions you have. And let me know what tokens, what type of assets, what categories you're most bullish on, because I'd love to hear from you and hear different perspectives on how that works, okay? Whew, that was a lot to say, guys. But if you like my videos, please do subscribe by clicking on my red button, subscribe button on my YouTube channel, and I will be forever grateful. I love you guys. Love it when you guys participate and engage in my channel here. So thanks a lot. I'm Dan again from CryptoCamacho.com, and I will see you next time, guys. See ya. Peace.